Imagine reaching the age of 65, when many people are considering retirement and realizing that life hasn't even truly begun for you yet. That was the reality for a man we all know today as Colonel Sanders. The founder of KFC, a man whose face you've probably seen on countless buckets of chicken, faced years of heartache and failure. This is the story of how he built a legacy not despite his age, but because of it. Harlan David Sanders was born in 1890 in a small town in Indiana. By the time he was 6 years old, his father had passed away, and young Harlan found himself taking on responsibilities that no child should have to shoulder. He cooked for his family while his mother worked, learning recipes and techniques that would later help define his life. Life wasn't easy for him. He dropped out of school in the 7th grade, bouncing between jobs, barely scraping by. He tried farming, working on railroads, even serving as a fireman. But just when things started looking up, life seemed to always throw him back down. Sanders' adult life was a cycle of trials and errors. He owned a service station, tried his hand at selling insurance, even practiced law for a short time. Nothing ever worked out. Time and again, he would find himself back at square one, broke and discouraged. By the time he was 40, he had already failed at multiple ventures and life kept testing him. He could have given up, settled into a quiet life of obscurity, but something in Sanders refused to let him quit. He knew he had something special inside him, a unique gift for cooking that he couldn't let go. At the age of 40, Sanders began experimenting with a recipe for fried chicken at his small service station in Corbin, Kentucky. People loved it. He created a unique blend of 11 herbs and spices, the recipe that remains a guarded secret to this day. Word spread, and people traveled miles just to taste Sanders' fried chicken. For a moment, it seemed like he had finally found his purpose. But life threw him yet another curveball. A new interstate bypass was built, rerouting traffic away from his restaurant. He was forced to shut down, bankrupt once again. Most people would have given up. After all, he was 65 years old, without a dollar to his name. But Sanders had one thing that kept him going: his belief in his chicken recipe. Determined, he packed his pressure cooker and his spice mix and began traveling from town to town, knocking on restaurant doors, offering his recipe in exchange for a small fee per piece sold. He faced rejection after rejection, over 1,000 times. He was told no, but each rejection only made him more determined. Finally, after countless rejections, one restaurant owner said yes, and then another and another. Slowly, Sanders began building what would become Kentucky Fried Chicken. By the late 1960s, KFC had over 600 franchises in the US and Canada. Sanders had done the impossible. He had built a franchise empire after 65 years of struggle. He later sold the company, but continued to serve as its ambassador, becoming a household name and an icon of resilience and determination. Colonel Sanders' story reminds us that it's never too late to pursue our dreams. Every setback he faced, every hardship, only made him stronger and more determined. At an age when most are thinking of retiring, he was just beginning. Today, KFC is one of the most recognized brands in the world, a testament to what can be achieved through grit, determination, and an unwavering belief in oneself. So, what about you? What dreams have you put aside because you thought it was too late? Colonel Sanders' story shows us that there's no deadline on success. Whether you're 20, 40, or 65, it's never too late to make your mark on the world. Remember, it's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a little reminder to keep going. Who knows, maybe they're just one step away from their own breakthrough.